What is up, Internet Land? Zachamus Prime, aka Zachamus Prime, here with another Transformers video review. Today, the figure we're looking at is going to be the Transformers Studio Series 2007 Transformers movie style Bumblebee movie. Bumblebee from the movie as the Bumblebee from the movie. And I picked this figure up at Ross for $10, and I'm gonna be perfectly straight with you. Here's your Cliff's Notes version of my review. I don't feel like I got ripped off buying him for only $10. I think that is all right. But man, am I glad that I didn't have to buy him at $25. So I have traditionally been a very big Bumblebee fan, and I picked up a couple Bumblebee Studio Series figures. I got the original Camaro version. I got the Bumblebee movie Bumblebee version, where he turns into a Volkswagen Beetle. That one I didn't even review because the damn thing wouldn't stay together into its alt mode. And that's really it for Bumblebee. Like, he has not really had a great run on them. He's had these Camaro Bee versions, which all are just like kibbly as all get out. And then he had like a couple, the like Jeep version, which I have reviewed. I believe I did review that because I borrowed it. But like, it made me nervous just to look at it. Same with the Cybertron Bumblebee. And then you had the like World War II Bumblebee, which was just complete ass. Like just a complete shell former. So it never, at no point have I seen one of them be like, oh man, I really want to get that. Because it's just, I've always looked at them and been like, well, I'll wait for it to go on sale. And then I see it for $10 and I'm like, well, it's on sale. Time to get it. And again, $10 is not a bad price for this figure, but $25, I would not have been happy with that. But anyhow, in terms of accessories, he comes with one solitary accessory, which is his little blaster thing. It's got a peg on it. It's actually got a peg in a peg because you can like store it on his little flight stand hole. On his butthole. It doesn't hold in super securely, but it goes there. It goes there just fine. And then you can take this and you can plug this into his fist hole, and then he's holding his weapon. And it's like, oh, hey, look, his gun formed out of his arm. And you know, it's actually not so bad from like this angle or like this angle. But once you start moving into this angle, you're like, oh, wait, that's his hand holding it. It would have been nice if they had molded this in this gray plastic, just like the rest of his forearm. I think that would have been great. Lost opportunity by not doing that. Hasbro, you done goofed. But anyhow, I believe this one comes in a regular mask version and a battle mask version. I had the battle mask version. It was the one that was on sale. Beggars can't be choosers. I didn't get to choose. There is no movable mask or a mask option. Not really worried about it. His head rotates kind of. It's on a ball joint, so it kind of goes side to side. Goes up a little bit, goes down not at all. His arms are on ball joints. They'll go that far before they collide with the non-moving chunks of his backpack. You can get a little bit of wiggle out of his, a little bit of shrug. Arm goes out for most of a tree pose. His forearm is on a ball joint, so every ball joint can be a swivel. Single ball joint bend for barely over 90 degrees. No wrist swivel, no nothing like that. He does have a waist joint. That's great. No ab crunch or anything like that. His waist joint feels like it wants to just like snap back to front. That's weird. But like, you don't get a whole bunch of waist joint because then like his hips start colliding with like his windshield and this thing and this thing and this thing. All the crap on his back. His leg will go that far forward, that far back. you have a ball joint, so technically it will rotate slightly on that ball joint. Go out for, I don't know, 80% of a Van Dam. You do have a joint, a swivel right here, just above his knee. Single joint bend at the knee for just over 90 degrees of bend. And then his toe, his foot, comes down on this hinge. But there's no, I mean, you can technically say there's a hinge joint if you feel like disconnecting this and hinging everything over. And if you really need to, that works. But like, you gotta disconnect things to make it work. And I don't think that that counts, to be honest. So, articulation on him is mediocre. I almost immediately started having issues with this little assembly not wanting to stay up. His wings, his door wings, you kind of want to put them at an angle so that they look good, but they really like sitting flush like this where they look stupid. He's got like secondary hinges in here for his sub wings. I think it's nice that they included the sub wings, since that's not something that everybody includes. But like, it's all like clear plastic on clear plastic on clear plastic, which first of all doesn't really color match with the yellow plastic, and second of all, clear plastic can be scary sometimes. So, to get him transformed up, where do I want to start? I think I'm going to start with moving these wings up. Yeah, we're making progress, guys. You can take this backpack out and straighten all of this crap out. His waist goes 980 degrees, I believe. Pretty certain it does. Yeah, I'm almost entirely certain it. Mostly certain it does. I don't know. We'll get it figured out. You want to disconnect. So for this foot, you want to take this foot down. You'll see how this heel section here has got like a divot on the end. This like corners. Well, you've got this hole that it goes through is a similarly shaped hole. And so you want to bring this down and then slide it out. And someday that pin is just going to snap right off. But you want to slide it out until you can get this to go all the way. And you need to recess that all the way. Because if you leave that hanging out even a little bit, it's going to cause you nothing but torment. I think I then wanted to turn this back around. Yeah, and then this comes up. And then this guy comes around. Well, this guy comes around on his ball joint. You're going to disconnect this like kind of, this whole section here kind of like tabs in. Bring this out a little bit. That will allow you to put this shin section on the inside of his thigh. And then you want to kind of just flex this guy around that piece of kibble. And then flex that piece of kibble to come back up, and then it'll tab into his leg like so. And the second leg is just like the first, so we'll bring this around, open up this little clear plastic doohickey here, bring out his foot, make sure it slides all the way out, fold that in, fold that, bring this little part out, fold that around. This is going to rotate and fold in like so. Yeah. And then this is going to come up and flexing, plastic flexing. Do not like it. You can tab those in. His chest section here is going to come up, and then you're going to be able to take all of this and kind of bring this up and over. There's a real issue with the way his arms transform against each other. So we're going to take his arms and we're going to bend them all the way down like that, just to get them out of the way. These parts with those out of the way, you can take these parts and you can fold them down past the shoulders, which will allow you to bring this section up. You can take these chest sections here and untab them from his actual chest. It's interesting, this piece of his chest is a faux piece, but these pieces actually form up on the car parts themselves. They're on little hinges and hinges on here. This is going to fold in like so, and you'll have this part kind of face up like that. This is going to come in, you can see this double hinge in here. That's going to slide in like that. And then these are going to plug back into the front of his car mode. Ish. Before you start plugging everything all back into itself, actually, you can take this and open this up for slightly more clearance. You got to take his wheel and put it into place, basically. And there is a corner that really needed to be shaved in there. But this is going to fit in to a thing, and you'll see here that there's a tab right here, and there's a tab right there. But there's also a tab right here. And I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys. That makes this a complete pain in the ass to take out of this mode, because this tab that's on this wheel piece here does not want to disengage from this. And I think that if I plan on keeping this figure, which I guess I kind of do, I should probably like shave that down using my machinist skills and get that to be properly toleranced and actually work with itself, because I'm sure a freaking architect designed this thing, not an engineer or a machinist. The arm is going to come down and around. You're going to fold this thing in flat. I actually like this feature. That's a fun little feature, because it's got like the littlest bit of like flexure in there, and that's kind of cool. This is like built-in detent. I like that. That's actually not awful. So this is going to come in, and he's basically going to put his hand right in behind this wheel. Kind of. It will go in here in such a way that it fits. And I'm not entirely sure how that is. You just kind of got to shove things in there until it looks and feels kind of right. It never really feels like it has proper clearance, even when things are all tabbed together. But hey, you know, whatever. Make sure the feet are together. That will allow this to kind of come up and be as flush as it can go. And then you're going to have this tab here on the inside of the door plug into this tab on the outside of the shoulder. And then just little tabs that are around here that you're just going to shove together. Just shove them all into place. And now I feel like I'm doing something massively wrong, because one leg is fitting into place properly and the other leg is not. Oh yeah, there we go. I think it was this shin detail was out of position by like 1/10 of a millimeter and caused everything to just go wrong. Oh no, everything went wrong. Alright, so that's, I think, as good as I'm going to get it. This does not collapse in any further. Like, no amount of squeezing is going to make that happen. I wish I had a straight edge on me. Oh my gosh. That is technically zero clearance. And yet all the tires are rotating. I think you just got to push it down enough so that this painted detail on this forearm is scraping against the floor or the table or the counter or the shelf or the whatever it is you're rolling them on. Your wife's tummy. I have no idea. You can take his weapon and you can plug it in on the back there. And there is his weapon storage. Isn't that amazing looking? All in all, I think the alt mode looks decent. I think that's probably the best thing I can say about this figure, is that the alt mode looks decent. The alt mode looks decent, and I would say that he's worth $10. Not 20. Not 25. $10 is a good price for him. You know, mismatched color panels here. And if I had a black light on me, I'm sure that all of his, like, this is a ABS piece and this is an ABS piece, but that's a POM piece right there, and then that's a painted piece. And I don't know if you guys know this, but POM actually fluoresces differently under a black light. So it's kind of cool when you get a figure that, oh, hold on a second. Noise everywhere. When you get a figure that the outer panel of him is made out of a bunch of different types of plastic, this guy looks like a jazz party under a black light. Jazz party. Yeah, go to like a, you know, atomic bowling or whatnot, cosmic bowling, and, you know, pull them out and you're like, wow, this part's really bright and this part's really dark and this part's really funky looking. It's probably going to be the same with this, but that's all I've got for this guy. Everybody, thanks for watching. You guys are fantastic. Everybody stay awesome and be good to each other. See ya.